Alrighty, thank you. They heard us, I guess, because we've been asking for so much Dragon Prince content for Season 6, and we've been getting a whole lot. Episode titles, and now a brand new poster. So I've had time to sit with this thing, and I have some theories that might shock you, so let's get started. What's going on, you guys? James here with some real news and a breakdown of a brand new Season 6 poster that was released last week. Guys, this poster has a lot of implications for the upcoming season, and more than you might even know about. And I already know you guys have seen the poster probably by this point, but if you haven't, you're in for a treat today. Now, before we get into my breakdown, if it's your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James, where I love talking about movies, TV, and the Dragon Prince. So if you don't want to miss out on any more videos, including a full recap of every episode title that's coming soon, because we're almost at the very end of Season 6 episode titles, hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, tap on that bell. Y'all like this video, and let me know in the comments if I missed anything in the poster breakdown that we're about to get into. And what do you think about my theories? You think I'm going to be right, or do you think I'll be wrong? It's okay. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Just don't yell at me. Alrighty, y'all. So let's get into this thing. Now, if you remember, this is not the first poster for Season 6. We actually had poster number 1 released, and it was some months ago. It's a picture of a crying Claudia in a puddle of water. We did a breakdown of it on the channel here, and it seems like Claudia's going to have a tough time. Now, this new poster was released on Tuesday, May 7th, so last week, and yes, I know it took a little while for me to get this video out, but I'm going to be honest, it seems like the promotional push for Season 6 is already begun, and I love it. They shared the new poster with this caption, and I quote, "The moon shimmers as the stars align. Prepare to embark on a celestial journey like no other with the Dragon Prince, Mystery of Ehasz, Season 6 on Netflix." And I know you're wondering, did we get a release date? Absolutely not. We did not. But you know what? We're getting new content, so I'm hopeful that the release date is right around the corner. So before we even get into my theories, I do want to point something out that I find very interesting about this current promotional push for Season 6. If you remember, last year with Season 5 of The Dragon Prince, on Instagram, there was an Instagram highlight that was created for Season 5. And if you remember, they also shared new posters. Then it looks like we had first look images and clips, and then the release of the season. So are they going to follow a similar cadence? Because an Instagram highlight was created for Season 6 on their main IG page as well. So I'm hopeful. Alrighty, so now let's take a look at this incredible poster, because it's time for my breakdown, and we're going to get into some details you might have missed. So the biggest question is, after taking a look at the poster, who's this new character? Y'all, it looks a little like a Star Touch elf, or a lot like a Star Touch elf, because I believe that it is. We see what looks to be this new Star Touch elf conjuring up something in a way with a spell book. Have we seen this spell book before? I know I haven't, and we also haven't seen this new Star Touch elf anywhere either. And next to this Star Touch elf's face is the Key of Ehasz, the cube we've seen Callum carry throughout the series. Now, the moon rune side of this cube is illuminated, and I started to think, is it because Rayla might be nearby? Or maybe more literally, there's a full moon in the background of this poster. But nonetheless, it seems like this cube is very keen on highlighting for the moon rune side of things. So there's gotta be this, that's gotta be a hint for something. Now, there are also other things floating around this Star Touch elf, and it looks like magic gems are pretty prominent in this poster. Now, if you remember in Season 5, right, Nathan took Callum and the gang through this magical labyrinth where all these gems were being talked about, and we were seeing them light up, and they were beautiful. But in this poster, one is green and the other one is purple. And thanks to Nathan, once again, we know the magic gems contain energy from the primal sources: sky, ocean, stars, moon, earth, and sun. Now, I'm not sure if my theory here is correct, but could it be that the gems that we see in the poster, at least in the foreground, one being green, so that's got to be Earth, and the other being purple, that's got to be stars, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but let me know in the comments. Do you guys think that those stones or those gems are coordinating to the primal source? And just for good measure, we see more magic gems floating around in the background also. So what, is this StarTouch Elf getting all of their power from this magic gem? Who knows? Because at this point, I'm as confused as you are, but I'm trying. I'm trying to dive into this and maybe connect some pieces, and maybe I'll be right. But again, the question is, who in the world is this StarTouch Elf? Might have an answer. Now, after a lot of research, if I had to guess, it's not Ehasz. Okay, but seriously, I think it's possibly somebody related to him, or another StarTouch Elf who has been briefly talked about in the Dragon Prince before. Yeah, I get it. You're thinking, I'm crazy, right? You've never heard of another StarTouch Elf mentioned. But if your favorite episode is like mine in Season 5, which is the Great Bookery, you might have. Now, before we get into the moment where this StarTouch Elf might have been mentioned in Season 5, let's hop on over to the Dragon Prince's wiki page, because under the StarTouch Elves category, it lists Ehasz and one other elf, Loreline. Is it Loreline? Lorelion? I think it's Loreline. But the reason I think it could be this is because who else, right? Who else? But I'm not 100% sure, because no one else has listed it in the wiki, so I'm starting to think I could be wrong here. But also, if they're showing this StarTouch Elf on a poster, according to the wiki, Loreline is dead. And wouldn't this poster want to maybe promote a character who we'll see in present day for Season 6? Yes and no. No, because it could just be a flashback that they're gonna insinuate maybe to begin Season 6 with this Loreline, who I think it is. But I'd be curious to see how they play around with the chronology for this elf. And I wouldn't be opposed to a direct flashback in Season 6, because I do love expanding the Dragon Prince's lore. However, there is one detail in Season 5 of the Dragon Prince, again, that could confirm that we are going to get Loreline in Season 6, and possibly in present day. I know, you're saying she's dead. Yes, but hear me out here. In Season 5, Episode 4, The Great Bookery, my favorite episode of Season 5, Kazi and Callum are of course searching the library for any materials that will help them figure out how to defeat a StarTouch Elf. Now, Kazi comes upon a poem called The Death of the Immortal, where we learn that Loreline is apparently undying and immoral, or immortal. She could be immoral too.
And though undying took last breath, immortal Lorelian was no more.
That's good, right? I mean, when someone was no more, that's dead, yeah?
It's a bit confusing, but that is the clearest implication, though it is somewhat odd they call them undying and immortal.
Well, that doesn't sound so immortal. Lorelian was no more.
Now, if that's the case, maybe people thought she was dead, but she's still living, and that would be a shock to everybody. Could she have been in hiding for a while? Is she pulling a Darth Maul from the Clone Wars? Who knows? But I do think there's a good possibility Loreline will show up in present day for the Dragon Prince. And maybe, just maybe, Loreline is the one who helps free Ehasz, which would be very scary and probably would not be good. If we thought Ehasz was Thanos, I think Loreline could be like, I don't know, a Galactus or another big bad for the Dragon Prince. It would not be great for Callum and the gang and everyone in Zadia. Yeah, everyone in Zadia probably hates this theory right now. Okay, so we've established that this is probably Loreline. She's got magical gems, reading from a spell book, and it seems like she's doing something mysterious. However, why are there ghost-like figures near the full moon at the top of this poster? Maybe these are people who have died at the hands of Loreline, and they're freaking out because she's doing something and she's getting into different realms, and who knows what happens here. However, I do think that showing those figures, it's intentional because of the bottom of the poster. So let's take a look at the bottom half of the poster, where it seems like there are more ghost-like figures and what seems to be darkness versus light. Now that's a motif that we probably have seen hundreds of times in fantasy series, especially here in the Dragon Prince. But in this poster, I think what they're trying to say is that darkness represents Loreline and Ehasz, of course, while the light is representing everyone else? I'm curious. Was there some sort of StarTouch Elf civil war that we don't know about? Are we going to get a flashback like that? That would be dope. And just from an artistic standpoint, this poster is incredibly detailed and has some really cool hand-drawn elements that I love. I do think that, of course, this art style won't find its way into the Dragon Prince Season 6, but I believe that this has to mean we're going to get a scene with this Star Touch elf, who I believe is Laureline. And hey, could this make more sense once we get the episode titles for, is it 8 and 9? Yeah, 8 and 9. We're waiting on 8 and 9. Scary business, guys. So yes, I will be dropping a video on these episode titles, of course, as they're released. So 7 and 8 we'll talk about here on the channel this week, but episode 9, the finale for season 6. Hey, what if it's just called Viren is dead, or Callum is possessed, or Rayla is lost? We would all cry, wouldn't we? We would. But guys, you're not going to want to miss out on that content, so hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, tap on that bell, and like this video so more Dragon Prince fans can see it. Thank you for your support, and we're not even in the thick of things for Season 6, because I'm doing reactions, breakdowns, we're getting a trailer reaction, and we're going to talk about that release date right here on the channel, so you're not going to want to miss out. Alrighty, y'all. Well, that's all I got. I'm going to go and figure out more about this Laureline. Let me know in the comments if there's any more literature I need to read about this Laureline. So what? We have a bait, okay? Bait is gonna take out Laureline. Alrighty, y'all. Well, again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening.